Whatever you want.
Hey everybody, Jill and Levi Hunsaker here. We're just out taking a little bit of a walk around a reservoir, and we just had some thoughts about, do you ever feel like you are a fraud or an imposter?
In building your business from the ground up.
So we actually recently listened to a TEDx talk by one of the guys who helped found Atlassian, and it really struck home, and we both of us independently have been thinking about this a lot this week. And so the real question is,
show them the mountains.
She wanted me to show you the mountains. So we're just doing this as we go along, but we've got really thinking about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur and be in business, and how do you have credibility before you feel like you have credibility? And this guy, he really dives into that concept of being a fraud or being an imposter. He calls it imposter syndrome, and it's a real thing. And he talks about winning all these awards, going on to win national awards, going on to win world awards. And he sat down next to a guy who'd been doing millions and millions of dollars worth of business revenue monthly, and he just said, I feel like I shouldn't even be here right now. I feel like I got thrown into the deep end of the pond, and I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing. And so just floundering my way through this. So anyway, we just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that and give you some tips and tricks to kind of help build your brand, help build your online presence, help build your influence online as you're going through that, because you got to start somewhere. But don't start from a place of not being authentic. You just have to be you, whatever your experience level is, and just let that be what it is. And really just take it head on, and be okay feeling out of your depth, because that means you're doing something right, in my opinion. If you're feeling out of your depth, you have taken on a big challenge, big challenge, right? And as entrepreneurs, you may have heard me say this before, maybe not, but entrepreneurs, they jump off a cliff and then they build a parachute on the way down. It's the same kind of thing. An entrepreneur gets thrown in the middle of the ocean and they have to build a boat as they go. And if you're feeling out of your depth, that's a sign that something is going right.
Yeah. So, do you want to go through a few of these tips that we...
Yeah, so we've got tips and tricks. Let people get to know you. Treat this like, you've seen the reality TV shows. People don't watch because it's like 100% awesome content all the time. People watch because it's raw, it's real.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. It's a train wreck sometimes that you can't look away from. So yeah, just focus on being that hot mess, being yourself, and being okay with it.
We are a hot mess on a regular basis.
And we're okay with it.
So let's see. I guess showing up with things like this, Facebook Lives, letting people just see the real awkward you, get to know you.
It's Facebook Lives as you're building your influence and building your brand and building your story online. It lets people get to know your personality. Let's get them get to know you. I could post all day long, but until you see Jill and I out here talking and interacting, and maybe even interacting with you guys if you're on, you just don't see everything that we've got going on personality-wise, like who we are as people. Sorry, we're walking down a beach. So it's kind of bumpy, kind of crazy, but getting away from more of the people, but kind of see where we are, kind of in the lake. So I'm gonna stand her. I'm gonna stand her up on the hill and me down lower, so we both look like we're about the same height. So
never gonna happen.
And you know what? I've even got notes of some of these tips and tricks because I knew I wasn't gonna remember them all. So just be a hot mess and embrace it. So the next one is, you know, blending education and entertainment. You're gonna be talking and teaching people about stuff, but make it fun, make it exciting and entertaining. It doesn't have to be just dry and bland as you're teaching people what you want them to know, right? That's the influence you want, is to have an impact in people's lives.
And give it time. Give yourself time to grow. Realize that even if you're in over your head, let's say, in the deep end, that's how you're gonna grow. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you're floundering, but it's good.
Yeah, and with that time, it's got to be consistent. So you've got to just keep showing up so that people can actually get to know you and have that consistency in their lives.
Another one is collaborate with other people who are in your same industry or who can help you along your path. Find those that maybe have strengths that you don't have yet and learn from them.
Yeah, that reminds me of one of my mentors actually showed this example, and he put kind of this tic-tac-toe board up on the wall, and he said, your goal is to get 3 X's and your goal is to get 3 O's. Go. That's all he said. Those are the rules of the game, and everybody automatically assumes we're talking about tic-tac-toe. And it becomes this competition of, I don't want them to win because I want to win. And that's not what it is in business. When you collaborate, stay in your own lane. Do what you do best. Stop stressing about who you think your competition is. Stop stressing about how you think somebody else is trying to, steal your customers or whatever. And focus on what you do best. Focus on your value that you add, and really bring other people in to contribute and add value. And when you collaborate, everybody can achieve their intended goal, because if everybody stays in their own lane, you can do 3 X's on one side and 3 O's on the other, and both people win. It doesn't have to be a competition. So we love collaboration.
Yeah, always be learning. There's one of the people we have learned from says, ask stands for always seek knowledge. And that's been key in developing our business, is even if we feel like we're in over our heads, which sometimes we have felt that, but
or still feel it right now. Let's be real.
It's true. We can just always seek the knowledge that we need to move forward.
Okay, the next one we've got is lead with value. When you're trying to build a following, and really what you want is a loyal following of customers or clients, right? The people that love what you have. Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And so it's these people that are going to be continually coming back to you over and over for business, and that can become the lifeblood of your business. But really, you've got to lead with that value. You've got to show them why you deserve their attention, because everybody's time, whether you think they're spending it wisely or not, doesn't matter. What they think they're doing with their time is what they want to be doing with their time. And if you can create enough value that they will pay attention to what you're doing, now you are building a following. Now you're building influence.
Yeah.
So another one.
keep going.
Another one is really having social engagement on your page, especially on Facebook. The algorithm on Facebook is entirely built around engagement, not just how many people saw your post. Because I can. How's it going? people saying hi to us. So, yep, we're in public. So yeah, like I can pay to boost a Facebook post and reach thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, but that doesn't mean anything because that's false views, right?
Right.
What it means is if I have 1,000 people on my page or on my profile and 300 of them are liking and commenting and, you know, interacting and engaging regularly, that is way better than having 10,000 people and having 600 people engaging, right? It's percentage wise, you've got like 6% versus 30%. Now, I don't even know if I did the math right there, so that was just on the spot. We're just throwing out numbers here, and I'm just making this up as I go along. But I hope those were the right numbers. But it's about ratio of engagement. So do your followers, are they actually regularly engaging? That's really what you're trying to do, because it doesn't matter how many people you have that see your content if they don't care about your content. You really want to focus on the people who see your content are engaging and interacting with you on it. Those are your people.
So I read this quote earlier that says, if you're an entrepreneur and you're always pushing yourself to a place you haven't been, imposter syndrome is a natural byproduct. If you don't have imposter syndrome, you're probably staying where you are because you've gotten comfortable. That was, I think her name is Paya Silva. And so I would just say, if you are feeling out of your depth, it happens to everyone, even the top dogs. You can be your BS your way into becoming what you want, but you've got to just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because to me, that means that I've accepted a new challenge. When I'm maybe not as comfortable as I like to be, that means I'm expanding my comfort zone. And really, that is the area of growth. If you are comfortable, you're basically complacent and there's no growth opportunities there. But as you get into it, really get into that heavy growth mode when you're feeling just way out of your league. And it's okay to ask for help. Like, don't think you have to do it alone. Find a coach, find somebody in the same business, find other entrepreneur meetups where you can, collaborate and bounce ideas off of each other. It doesn't have to be a lonely thing, even though sometimes it feels like it. But reach out for help, because, hey, I don't know everything. You guys may feel like you do. You may feel like you don't know everything, but that imposter syndrome is a real thing. And really, when you are creating and building something that you've never done before, you're trying to be that authority and being credible. Leverage other people. Leverage their credibility and your relationships with them, because when you have relationships, you can be wealthy in relationships just by the people that you know. And you can actually share in that. And one thing that I read is, as you think about building influence, when you have that influence with your audience, when you have that following, that loyal following of people that are constantly engaging, that's when you can start really building your business. That's when you can actually get in. People are willing to share their email address. They're willing to talk and engage with you. They're willing to open their wallets for you. And as a business, that's the ultimate thing, right? It's awesome to provide value. It's awesome to serve, and it's awesome to do this. But at the end of the day, if your business isn't healthy, you can't keep doing what you're doing. And so you really have to think about that. Another one of my mentors, Bob Snyder, he actually says, if you can't sell them, you can't serve them. Because if they see value in what you have, if you want to continue to serve them, you need your business to run and be healthy. So don't be afraid to get in there and actually use your influence to recommend products and services and really let your business grow so that you can continue doing what you do best. So yeah, I would just encourage you guys, from an imposter syndrome. My arm's getting tired. Ah! So from an imposter, falling over now too. Okay, so from an imposter syndrome standpoint, if you feel like you're there, I think you're on the right track. So
Jump in the deep end and
just keep going. Just keep going, because you're doing something right. Looks like somebody joined us. I can't see who it is.
Welcome.
We're still figuring this thing out. So, yeah, just get in, jump in the deep end, take your business head on, and be afraid to take, or don't be afraid to take a risk. Like, if you bet on yourself, that's the one bet that I think is a sure thing all the time. Always bet on yourself. So with that, that's kind of what we wanted to share. Feel free to connect and reach out. We've got a lot of tools and resources for building your business, but we just wanted to share about that. And really, what does it feel like to feel like you're a fraud or an imposter? You probably already know. We already know. And we're right there with you. So just hang in there, keep going, and we'd love to help you out. Talk to you guys later.